we've all been brought up like that, right?
Yeah,
there's deep
it's the
conditioning to believe, the man has to protect, the man has to be in charge, and the woman has to be cared for, the woman has to be protected, she's weak. But we are so scared of being alone, of being isolated, of being alienated, that we try that desperately to fit in. But all this is, now I can sit here and say this to you and all that. But what did I go through when I felt at various points? Of course I felt low. I remember at one particular point, I would be so scared to step out for an appearance because I thought, I'd be judged. I used to be so nervous. That nervousness itself would not bring out the best in me. It doesn't matter what I was wearing. I started actually working on liking myself, on accepting myself. I've been working with a healer for many years now, and that has really helped.
A Sherni is someone who doesn't fear being judged. A Sherni is also someone who never underestimates her challenger and finds her own way and creates her own path, not conforming to any norms. Or in other words, a Sherni is just Vidya Balan. Today I have Vidya Balan joining me for a conversation, and I must say, and I have not told you also this, ma'am, that the last time I did a video interview with you, I actually cried at the edit. So I am expecting an emotional interview today also, because I have so much to speak to you, because I loved the trailer of Sherni, and I feel that the movie and the topics covered or touched upon in Sherni subtly actually embody the journey that you've had in the industry. So welcoming you to Bollywood Bubble in this conversation. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much, Nayan. I didn't know you cried. I'm so sorry about that. But I don't know what to do to make it emotional. So let's just have a conversation.
Not like that. Not like that. But I just felt that there's such a great story. I always say that people, like common girls today, want to be Vidya Balan. And I know people, I know in my vicinity who want to have a journey like you. And Sherni, when I watched the trailer, believe me, ma'am, I'm telling you this, I messaged you this, that every scene reminded me of an incident that must have happened in somebody's life. One of the other women in my life. So that is what the beauty of the film is. Did that connect you to the film, or did that drive you to do the film? Because you've always veered towards such projects which have interesting characters for women.
Actually, I don't think there was one thing that drew me to the film, but the most important thing was the jungle. Because I believe the USP of the film is that it's not just a story set in the jungle. It is about the jungle.
Yeah.
And we don't have too many of those films. And then, of course, I think it is metaphorical in the sense that the Sherni's journey through the wild is also every woman's journey through life.
Yes.
Because the Sherni is actually the doer.
Yeah.
She is the one who goes for the kill. She gets the prey. She takes care of her cubs. It's the same for women. We're all doing that in the different paths that we choose in life. So I think that definitely resonated. I found lots of things about the role very relatable. And I know people like Vidya Vincent, who are quiet and withdrawn but have a great deal of strength.
Yeah.
Women who are doers without making a big thing about it. That's just their personality. Vidya Vincent is a kind who just wants to do a good job, and she wants to be taken seriously, but she'd rather be invisible.
Yeah. And Vidya ma'am, the best part, I was coming to that, Sherni in a lot of ways acts as a metaphor to reflect whatever the social ills also in the society and in the industry at large, especially towards women. I want to tell you that I read this review, a trailer review, and you will be surprised. A lot of people actually, some of them said that टीजर में हम लोगों ने एक्सपेक्ट किया था कि बाघ दिखाएंगे पर बाघ नहीं दिखा. You will not believe to that one comment there were 1,586 people actually trying to explain it to that person, that man, that you've not got the whole idea of the film. And that's the beauty of Sherni, Today we have films like this which touch upon real issues so subtly. I will take it one by one. We live in a patriarchal setup, whether it's the society or the industry at large. How much of sexism and how much of patriarchal setup have you had to battle in life, and how did you get out of it? There was a point where people just wanted to be Vidya Balan because she was never conforming to the industry norms.
Right. And I don't think, that when we talk about that, I think that, you have to look at it from various perspectives. Of course, from the point of view that I'm a woman, but also from the point of view that, I don't come with a baggage of belonging to a known film family, or I didn't have any known godfathers and things like that. So that is multi-layered. It's not just you can't look at it unidimensionally. But sorry, I've lost track of your question.
No, I was asking you the patriarchal setup. How did you deal with it never conforming to norms?
Yeah, I think all of us have had to deal with it and continue to deal with it in a lot of ways. But I think the beauty is that while some of us are brave enough to shut our naysayers up, brazenly, the others do it by ignoring the naysayers, and most importantly, we're all doers. Whether we call out the sexism, whether we call out the misogyny, I think irrespective of that, we are all still taking baby steps to move forward in life, to do what we want to be doing. And that's true of Vidya Vincent also. She belongs to the second category of people who does not call it out. But having said that, Nayan, I have to say that when we talk about sexism and misogyny and patriarchy, it's not something that the men are imposing on us.
Yeah, it is a conditioning.
Part of it. Because we've all been brought up like that, right?
Yeah,
there's deep conditioning to believe, the man has to protect, the man has to be in charge, and the woman has to be cared for, the woman has to be protected, she's weak. So these percolate into various areas of our life, this belief system. And it is not about what men are doing to women or anything like that. It's we are as much victims. We are as much victims as we are perpetrators of this patriarchal mindset. And as long as we are aware of that, I think we will move forward irrespective.
And it takes a strong feminist like you to admit that on camera. I must also ask you this, that you've been raised by a Sherni, you've been raised with a Sherni, and you have a Sherni in your niece and a Sherni in your mother-in-law today and your sister-in-law, who have been amazing supports to you in different parts of your life. Although you've had men in your life who have equally been supportive, do you feel that because you've been raised by, or you've been surrounded by these women, you have also learned to protect yourself and everybody in your family, like your niece also, you've taught them to protect themselves and not get into the social conditioning of things?
Yeah, I think, all the women who came before us are responsible for where we are today.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that everyone's contributed to me being me. All those who matter to me contributed to me being me. But of course, the mother is the biggest influence. And there is no denying that in anyone's life. Sometimes even an absent mother is a huge influence. Thankfully, in my case, my mother and I shared a very deep relationship, and it's also, a lot of times in the past, growing up, all my anger would also come out at her. That's because I think not only did I feel closest to her, because I think in a way we were living out similar journeys.
Yeah.
She did it being a homemaker. I did it being who I am. But I think we can't underestimate the role of every woman, even when she's not been the typical Sherni. Like a Vidya Vincent, like my mother, if you see her, she is very quiet, she is very reserved, but she has a mind of her own and she will take no rubbish. She will not take it like that. And she has, really fueled this passion in Priya, my sister, and me to go out and live our dreams.
Absolutely.
Even if that came at the cost of her own dreams. Because she was not, in those days, the situation was not such that I don't think she even saw the opportunity of a life outside of her family.
True. But when we talk about Shadnees, Shadnees in real life as well, whether we talk about women who are Shadnees or Shadnees in general, they never give up. And you actually stand true to that, because there have been so many ups and downs in your career. Even before you started, I know of those moments where, how did you battle those days? Were there days when you wanted to give up, where you wanted to give in to the pressure? Did you succumb, and how did you pull yourself back on those days?
Of course I did. I succumbed and then realized that I've succumbed and then pulled myself back together. But then again, you're human. Your need to fit in is so strong as human beings to belong to the tribe, that when you don't, or you feel you don't, when you don't feel accepted, then you feel like, what can I do to change that? But then slowly over time, you begin to realize that, you can be who you are and yet be part of the tribe. That's the beauty of a tribe. Not everyone in the tribe is not the same.
Yeah.
Every individual is different. Once we recognize and appreciate that, then it's actually a win-win for everyone. But we are so scared of being alone, of being isolated, of being alienated, that we tried it desperately to fit in. But all this is, now I can sit here and say this to you and all that. But what did I go through when I felt at various points? Of course I felt low. I felt like, I felt like giving up many a time. And I think that's absolutely human.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think I did give up also. But then, I think the universe didn't let me give up, because the universe is aware of how passionately I love what I do. Also, my family didn't let me give up.
Absolutely, yeah. Today when we look at your choreograph and the filmography, it stands testament to the hard work and dedication that you've put in for years, and everybody wants to have a choreograph like that, films like that every year. मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि पहले ज़माने में we are 90s kids, even you will agree, when we used to hear Tabu ma'am doing a film, there was a point in 2000 where we used to know that ये movie में कुछ अलग होने वाला है. Today that baton has come to you, and I am not kidding. People from our generation do feel that when there's a Vidya Balan film, it's going to be massively content oriented. But like you said, that there was a point where everybody tries to fit in. Like when I was in Bombay, I also tried to fit in, do things which I didn't want to do, and maybe wanted to be part of a tribe. Do you remember those days? Were there moments where you really gave up on your own personalities to fit in the industry norms?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think there is one type of actor that can be successful or will be successful, and you want to be that one type of actor. Only to realize over time that really there are no rules to success. There is no one road to success, and you can be who you are. And I think that's the most precious lesson I've learned being an actor. That you can be who you are. You don't need to change anything about yourself. And you see the stories of the most successful actors in the industry, and you realize that it is possible that they've been told that they stand out like sore thumbs, and yet they are the ones that have created a name for themselves or are known as legends. And but when you're young and you're eager to succeed and you're eager to be accepted, I think sometimes you lose your way, and that's absolutely fine.
In Dirty Picture, after that award scene, there's a dialogue that Anju Mahindru gives you, tells you actually, your character, Silk. And I remember that because I have given this dialogue too many times in the last week to friends. वो बोलती है कि आज जो तुम कर रही हो वो बगावत है, कुछ साल बाद इसको लोग आजादी कहेंगे. When you started this movement of doing and headlining films, and films with different content, not any film of yours, despite being women oriented or having you as the central protagonist, are similar. Today you're playing a forest officer, which I have not seen any other woman in the industry do. How do you take it today? When what you started, you must have received a lot of backlash, a lot of apprehensions within and from the industry. Today that has become a movement. Today every actor wants to have lead a solo film, especially I'm talking about actresses, because they want to prove their worth, and they're made to also. because the industry pushes you to that one place. How do you see that change, that paradigm shift?
No, I think it's wonderful that more women's stories are being told, and I'm very, very fortunate that there is this hunger in me to do something different every time, because I get bored very easily. It's as simple as that. So I need to challenge and excite myself, and therefore I end up choosing subjects that are different. Where one is different from the other, and I have been very lucky in that respect, I have to say. And thankfully, people have accepted it, and therefore more people get encouraged to make more films like this, like these. And more actresses are doing that today. More female actors are doing that today, and I think it's such a wonderful thing, because I think now women are being treated as people, as human beings in films. They're not just being seen as women.
Yeah.
Because that role has been, I think, when you see just a man as a man or a woman as a woman, it is very limiting. You have to see them for everything beyond that, including that. So I think that's the huge change that's happened, and everyone wants to be a hero. Everyone wants to be the central protagonist. And what's wrong with that?
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong. And I also
But I have to say that even when I didn't play the central protagonist, I always, in my head, I always saw myself as a hero.
That's true. We have to look at Bhool Bhulaiya, and we must say, I was watching it with my family a few days ago, and everybody was, there are films that you do where we know what is going to come next because we watched it so many times, but we still have goosebumps, and that's the beauty of an actor like you. In the movie, there is a scene where Ila Arun tries to tell you that you need to deck yourself up. Why don't you wear that har that I gifted you? And I'm pretty sure you never got that har from her because your expression says it. A lot of emphasis is given on appearance, and I have known you since the time there was no social media, but there was a lot of bullying in the media, and I'm taking it as a media person. There was a lot of bullying that happened with you regarding your appearance in the media, and there were a lot of people who stood by you as well. I would like to say that I definitely felt that you are amazing, and a lot of people didn't know what was happening in your life. Or there are so many actors today who come out and talk about the issues that they battle on a daily basis vis-a-vis their health. That time you didn't come out and speak. Do you feel that a lot of judgment happened because of that and continues to happen? But today, thankfully, do you feel that you reached a point where you didn't get bothered, and you remember the point? I'm putting everything together, and you remember the point where it broke you, the change that has happened in you?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember at one particular point, I would be so scared to step out for an appearance because I thought, I'd be judged. And those days, they used to be very nasty.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still nasty because I don't read anything anymore. But I remember I used to be so nervous. That nervousness itself would not bring out the best in me. It doesn't matter what I was wearing. And then after a while, I reached a stage where I said, I'm not going to be able to make. Sometimes I do the fashion perfect thing, like, the stylist would give me something and say that, but this, you're absolutely bang on with what you're doing. And still people would say there was something wrong, and I realized it's difficult to satisfy everyone or to get everyone to like you. As long as you like yourself, nothing else matters. So I started actually working on liking myself, on accepting myself. I've been working with a healer for many years now, and that has really helped, because I think acceptance of self gives me purpose in life.
Yeah. And it only happens majorly with women when men come out in the open and do characters where they have a paunch, they are applauded and majorly applauded, to be honest. And it only happens with women, and that really, really upsets me. My last question would be that you have brought a sense of balance in the industry, in the minds of the audience, in the way women are perceived today in society at large. I want to know that still there's a section that judges women for asking a certain remuneration. I feel I tweeted about it a few days ago that anybody like a Kareena Kapoor Khan or a Vidya Balan or a Tabu deserves the money they get, or have right to call for the money that they want to, because they bring in that much to the film. Do you feel, and that never happens with men? unfortunately. The men get paid 10 times more than the women averagely, but they're never called out. How do you see this, that pay disparity and everything that happens? Do you see a slight change at least?
No, I definitely see a change in it, but I think we still have a long way to go. But importantly, I think we have to see things in a larger context. For centuries, not centuries, for decades now, we've seen that the hero-led films have done very good business.
Yeah.
So the heroes get a big chunk of that money. Whereas the so-called female-centric film, while there have been phases of that happening, in the 80s and in the golden era of cinema and all that, that's not stayed. It's only in the past 10, 12 years that this has come to be not just a trend, but I think this is a
become
reality.
Commercial. Yeah, reality.
So I think I'm very happy that, the percentage of the overall budget that I get equals a percentage of what men get from the overall budget of the film. But the budget of my films is much lower than that of the men. But that gap will be bridged very soon. As we see more and more success, I don't doubt that, that gap will be bridged.
What about the judgment that the people have judged? People judge the women for what they ask for. That's
but we've been, human beings judge one another, and women get judged that much more. But I think all that is changing. And honestly, after a point, you realize that, it doesn't matter how you get judged. You have to go ahead and do what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
And that gives you great strength to be who you are.
Ma'am, after this, I must tell you that on an ending note, there are a lot of hopes pinned on this film because people also want it to be an Oscar entry. You might not have read it, but people genuinely want it to be an Oscar entry. And I hope it makes it. I hope it makes the cut because you deserve that recognition. You deserve every kind of love that you get, every kind of respect because you are a real life Sherni. And if a Sherni is defined by the way you are, I wouldn't mind being a Sherni in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Nayan.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. All the best.
Same here.